Welcome to Arts and Crafts with Luba Carlson. This is season 2, the very first episode, and I'm very excited to have you here with me. In season 2, we will be working in our art journals and trying to wake up our creativity and reconnect with our inner selves. Today's episode is called Permission to Play. We will be using our art journal. This one I created with you guys in season 1. So if you want to go ahead and find those episodes, if you want to make your own journal, you're more than welcome to. So we will be using the art journal. If you do not have one, I suggest to have something with heavier paper. Maybe something like mixed media paper would be great. Watercolor paper is also good. If you go with paper thinner than that, unfortunately, it'll buckle and tear. It cannot hold up to a whole lot of water. So this one we made, and it's kind of accordion style. So we did a couple pages last season, and we are going to continue working in that. And why I like it is because I can spread it like this, open it, and all my pages are now lying flat. That's wonderful, and that's exactly what I need here. Now we will be using some basic watercolors. You can use whatever you like, some black markers or pens, again, your choice. And I am using here brushes. These are water brushes. What this means is that inside of the brush there is water. And as I'm using it, you will see it. I will squeeze a little bit of water, pick up my color, paint, and then I can just clean it on the rag. And I really do not need any jars with water for that. So it kind of simplifies the setup and the ability to work on things. So permission to play. Why permission to play? Is because usually in our lives we're so busy with all the things that we need to accomplish and do, and we hardly ever have time to really play and just act on the whim of our intuition and just do things because they feel good, not because they are the things that we should be doing or must be doing. So we will start with painting different shapes on our paper. And as I mentioned, we will be using our watercolors for that. I have 3 brushes here. They're all different sizes. I have a large, it's probably about size 8. If you have regular paint brushes, you can absolutely use them. So this is probably around 8. This would be around 4. And this one would be around 2 size brush. I'm just going to start with my larger one, which is the round 8. I'm just opening it, squeeze a little bit so that it's wet. And here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start with a few geometric shapes. I will be very intuitive as for my color choices, and I will just be playing and putting them anywhere I want. It really doesn't matter. So let's see, let's start. And also, this is a great exercise for if you just have gotten yourself a new set of paints and you're not sure what those colors will look like. This is a wonderful way to learn. So I'm starting with the green. You can start with any other color, anything that feels good can go on there. And you can color your shapes in, or you can leave them empty. It's your choice, absolutely your choice. I'm gonna grab a little bit more green, and maybe I'll put a couple of squares on the other side. I don't know why, it just feels good, you know? Just color it in. Now my journal is made out of white cardstock, so my colors are not going to really blend very well the way they do on watercolor paper, but it'll still work. Now for the next one, I am just going to use water, just water on my brush, and there was a little bit of green left. And I'm going to create another square, fill it with water, make it wet, wet, and then I'm going to grab a little bit more of this color and just put little dots and kind of populate. See, it looks different. It looks completely different from just painting the color on. It's going to move around and take all of that space as it's drying. Okay, time to clean my brush. All right, let's get, that's called rose madder here. So I'm just going to do that. Why not? Such a pretty color. What should we do? Let's just do a line or a curvy line. Just press and see what happens and just keep going as far as the paint goes. Oh, I like that. Look at that. That's so cool. Now I'm gonna go back over here and pick this up. And as you're doing this, try and breathe slowly. Inhale through your nose. Just keep moving. And this is why I really like water brushes, because the water is really just keeps coming out of the brush, and that's what allows me to make a line that is so long, uninterrupted. Okay, let's clean that. Okay, moving on to cadmium red, and I'm gonna maybe add, let's do a couple of hearts. Why not? Maybe start from here. So I'm gonna press and pull back, and then press again and pull back. Look at that heart. That's so cute. Okay, maybe one here. Maybe round it up a little. Yep. And I think I would like one over here going the other way, facing backwards. So we're just gonna do that. I really did not want to turn the journal around, but that's, if it's easier, you absolutely can. That really didn't work very well upside down, but it looks good. Gonna add a little bit more to this. Cool. Okay, clean the brush. I think I'm just gonna use all the colors I have here because they are so yummy. They're so pretty colors. Okay, lots of cadmium yellow, and I have one circle here, so I want to add more bubbles, but kind of different colors to kind of bring all of this together. Don't be afraid to experiment. If you want to add another color right on top of this one color, go for it. If you feel like you'd rather have a circle that is, you know, half green, half orange or something like that, do it. Don't worry about how it's gonna look. It doesn't really matter. This is about playing with colors and a brush and just putting things in the way you like them. I don't know why I just cleaned the brush, because I am still with this cadmium yellow. What should I do? I'm still kind of trying to do just add some shapes, just fill in the space. Maybe like that. Yes, maybe here. Okay, I'm gonna try and add some more organic shapes that are more like nature inspired. Let's see, I got lemon yellow here. What do you want to do with lemon yellow? Maybe we'll paint a little flower. So I'm just starting on the outside and making curvy lines to come to the middle. That's a very simple, very basic flower. Okay, I'm gonna clean my brush and I'm gonna grab a little bit of burnt umber and just put some right here in the center for the flower. Okay, I think I want more flowers now. Let's do another one of the same colors so that we have repeating elements. It just kind of helps with how the thing look. As we're working on this, let's start thinking about inspirational words. What kind of words would you like to add to this page? If you would like to add any words, I will. That's why I have all those black markers here. And again, a little bit of burnt umber in the center. Okay, going into turquoise. Which I don't know why it's called turquoise. It's really sky blue here. It really looks more like cerulean blue. What can we do that is unexpected for this color? Maybe some leaves. I'm doing the same. This is the same motion I'm using as I did for flowers. The absolutely same method. Just putting two curvy lines together. And then I'm gonna turn this around because it's hard to, it's kind of difficult to go that way. I'm not adding any more paint to my brush because I really want it to get lighter and lighter as I'm going. Okay, now I'm going back and I'm going to connect those leaves to the stem. Maybe, oh, getting stuck a little bit. There we go. Let's try and make one over here. Just a soft line. And then we're doing the very same thing. We're adding more leaves to it. I think it's important to have your hand in a comfortable position to paint, especially when you're working with watercolors, because it's all about how you apply it, right? It's all about how you put the brush in. Okay, going back to here, this has a whole lot of paint on this, so I'm using it to grab some paint. Okay, moving around. And making another, giving it more leaves. Did you know you can go back to your watercolor on paper already and grab some more color from it? I'm just coming over here, picking up some color, and then I'm putting it in here. I don't want to go into the paint cake because I know that I'll grab way too much color from there. And I really want it to be so kind of ghostly almost looking, very transparent. Okay, going back, adding the stamps, connecting just a little bit. Okay, let's see, what else could we add? There's so many options, right? What else could we do? Okay, so my next color here would be Cobalt Blue Deep. Let's see what that gives us. Oh, that's a pretty color. What would you do with that? How about we'll do bubbles, but we'll make them small. Let's do small bubbles. Just find a spot. Do they have to be perfect circles? Absolutely not. Overlay. See what happens if I put it on yellow. Maybe one here. Maybe another here. Is that enough? Okay, now let's do a couple little ones. Much smaller. Just filling in the space. Okay, let's grab the next color. For me, that's royal purple here. And I'm just gonna do little marks, just simple marks wherever I find space. And these ones are just gonna be going little marks just going down like that. We're just filling it in. And maybe change direction. Just like that. What else could we do? Maybe here. Okay, clean the brush. All right, so I went through all of my colors by now, and I'm thinking that this looks good. I might want to add more teeny tiny elements to just fill in the space. Let's see, I really liked cadmium red, the hearts color, so I'm just gonna grab a little bit of that. I'm just gonna put some random dots. I like to think about them as their freckles. Maybe, I think this is good. Let's add a little bit of sunshine to this. More yellow and, oh, I know. I'll just do a little kind of a short wave and just repeat it. Repeating of the same element really brings things together. It really helps us kind of connect your page together. It kind of brings it all together. But also in nature, you will never see just one tree of that kind standing alone. Everything repeats. Okay, yeah. Let's see. Yes, I think we're good with that. Okay, so at this point, we're going to switch to our black pens and markers. And let's add some inspirational words. What do I have here? I have a bold, I think it's a bold, right? Oh, it's a brush, never mind. So this is a brush. And this is a chisel tip. Yes, okay, so I'm gonna start with the chisel tip. And I'm gonna start and put the word on here. Let's start with create. That's so easy, right? I would love to know what words you're writing. Now, before you're doing this, make sure your paint is dry. Here at the studio, the lights are so hot, everything dries super fast. So your page might still be a little bit damp, so make sure it's dry before you start writing words with the marker, because you do not want your markers to bleed. Create. How about the word, let's do, here, let's put this away. Let's do joy right on here. And it is so much fun to change your fonts as you're doing that, or you can just stick to the same thing. There. And maybe add a little bit more here as we go down. Create joy, that's just a inspirational thing already, right? We can write the word inspire. I just thought about that, why not? So I have this gel pen. Jelly roll. Let's just make sure, yep. So I want to fit the word inspire into here. Inspire. Okay, what else? Believe. That's a great word. I love that. Play. What else is important that we don't allow ourselves to very often? How about rest? How about connect? What else can we say here? Any more? Any other words? Be curious. I love that. Let me see. How am I gonna... This is a little bit tricky. Oh, I know. I'll open this way so that I can fit. So be curious. Curious would fit here, and then be would fit. I'm kind of going backwards on this a little bit. Be curious. And you can go on and on and on and put in as many or as few words on this page as you like, as long as it brings you joy. The last thing I want to show you is if you would like to add a little bit of a oomph, so to speak, to your page, you can use a maybe an extra fine tip, ultra fine tip, I guess that's called, Sharpie, or maybe a gel pen, and you can go into your shapes and maybe just add a little bit of an outline. Like, don't worry about it being perfect. It doesn't need to be. Just use some messy, sketchy lines and just add a little bit to your shapes and see how they immediately start to stand out. So we can just go and play with that. And then if you have even more time and you want to keep playing with the same page, what you can do is you can go on the inside of these shapes and add something else to them. So like, for example, I could add another triangle on the inside of the triangle and just kind of make it look more, I don't know, visually pleasing, I guess. You can do the florals, our botanicals. See, don't worry about them being perfect. Just kind of outline, outline, and outline. And when you are completely done with this, You can take a minute and think about how this whole experience made you feel. Maybe you had an aha moment, maybe you thought of an interesting quote. Whatever comes up, you can use some space, some open space, and just journal about it. For example, I just had a thought that came to my mind, and I'm just going to write it right inside of that circle. And it's going to say, art frees my soul. And that's kind of my take from this. Yeah, and you can add a date to it if you like, or you can just leave it like that. I am very excited to keep working in this book with you and see how this helps us all become even more creative in our lives. I will see you in the next one.